Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Prestige Collection Thriller Edition of October 2024. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and have the opportunity to support the channel by buying a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. Your support means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Laika, Aged Through Blood, a unique Motorvania adventure that shakes up the Metroidvania formula with its bite-based mechanics and rich emotional storytelling. This game offers an intense post-apocalyptic adventure filled with heart-pounding action. You step into the shoes of Laika, a coyote warrior on a dirt bike, as she seeks revenge and battles enemy clans. The combat and exploration revolve around your bike, where stunts like mid-air flips are essential, not just for tricks, but for critical mechanics like reloading your revolver or deflecting enemy bullets. This challenging yet thrilling system requires quick reflexes as you dodge, shoot, and flip through desolate landscapes, often in slow-motion bullet time sequences. The game's hand-painted art style sets a bleak Western-inspired tone, while its emotional story delves deep into themes of loss, generational trauma, and survival. Along the way, you'll meet quirky characters in your village and complete quests to unravel more of the world's lore. While the game's trial-and-error combat may test your patience, especially during tough boss battles, the satisfaction of mastering its mechanics and the rewarding exploration make it worth the effort. The soundtrack, crafted by BYO, adds another layer of depth, perfectly capturing the world's melancholic beauty. If you crave a fresh spin on classic exploration games, Laika, Aged Through Blood delivers an unforgettable ride through a harsh yet captivating world. At number 2 we have Bramble the Mountain King, an atmospheric survival horror game where you navigate the eerie depths of Scandinavian folklore. You play as Ollie, a young boy who sets off into the dark woods to rescue his sister, Lillemor, after she is abducted by a troll under the sinister Mountain King's command. The game beautifully combines platforming, stealth, and intense boss battles as you traverse hauntingly realistic environments like plague-ravaged villages and shadowy swamps. You'll encounter an array of unsettling mythological creatures, from trolls to shape-shifting witches. The story unfolds through narrated fairy tales, adding depth to the world's dark lore. Ollie's growing orb becomes your lifeline, serving as both a source of light and a weapon during tense encounters. The game's defining characteristics is its unique boss battles, which are imaginative, terrifying, and unforgiving. Each encounter is multi-faced, requiring you to think quickly and act even faster. Despite its deceptively whimsical appearance, Bramble delves into truly grim themes, like infant unaliving and self-unaliving, with graphic violence that is definitely not for the faint of heart. The atmosphere is heightened by stunning visuals, immersive soundscapes, and a haunting soundtrack featuring pieces like Grieg's In the Hall of the Mountain King. While Ollie's controls can be a bit clunky, especially on narrow ledges, the frequent autosave checkpoints keep frustration to a minimum. If you appreciate games like Little Nightmares and enjoy dark folklore with a mix of stealth and action, Bramble the Mountain King is a spine-chilling experience worth diving into. At number 3 we have Intravenous II, a sequel that takes everything great about the original and cranks it up to 11. The game is a top-down pixelated stealth action game that blends elements from classic titles like Splinter Cell and Deus Ex. You step into the shoes of Sean, a hitman forced to carry out missions to save his kidnapped father. The story ramps up the intensity, offering more character depth and branching paths for multiple endings. In terms of gameplay, this sequel refines its mechanics while expanding your tactical options. You now get to play both during the night and in daylight, adding a layer of social stealth where you can blend in with crowds. The dual protagonist system provides fresh approaches. Sean can slow down time, while Steve uses rapid reflexes to outmaneuver enemies. Stealth remains the best strategy, but going loud is still an option. The AI is sharp, guards will notice when lights go out or if doors are left ajar, making your every move matter. The game is immersive, with 5 difficulty modes and a customizable experience. Master the art of sneaking, use vents, and manipulate circuit breakers, or even set off fire alarms to create distractions. With the rich progression system, the game rewards exploration and strategic planning. Regular updates keep the experience fresh, and the expanded mission list doubles the campaign length from the first game. Intravenous II is not just a sequel, it is a stealth game revolution that demands your attention. At number 4 we have Death Stranding, Director's Cut, an adventure game by Metal Gear Solid creator Hideo Kojima. You play as Sam Porter Bridges, a courier delivering cargo across what's left of the United States after a supernatural cataclysm called the Death Stranding has driven the last of humanity into underground cities, leaving the barren surface plagued by soul-sucking ghosts called BTs, rain that rapidly ages anything it touches, and other strange things. The game is essentially a feature-length fetch quest, but the environment and the many challenges it throws at you makes the trip worth enduring. Death Stranding is secretly a brilliant hiking and mountaineering simulator, and every piece of rough terrain you encounter is a puzzle to be solved. The majority of your time in Death Stranding is spent out in the open, plodding slowly from one place to another. As you trek across a continent, you see enormous cascading waterfalls, snowy mountains, steam-spewing volcanic fissures, raging rivers, dense forests, and wide grassy plains, and it all looks and sounds stunning. Death Stranding is best when it shuts up, as it is filled with bizarre characters, lengthy screeds of exposition, and indulgent cutscenes, but it is in the long, quiet stretches between all of this when it's just you hiking alone across a stark, haunting post-apocalyptic wilderness where it really shines. Death Stranding's most overt theme is connection, and this manifests itself in some brilliantly clever asynchronous multiplayer, where players traverse their world dropping ladders and ropes or using a device called a PCC to build river-spanning bridges, battery-boosting generators, zip lines, roads, and other helpful objects. These then appear in other people's games. The Director's Cut adds new content and features to the game, including new story missions, new weapons and equipment, and even a racing mode, making this the best opportunity to get into the game. At number 5 we have Faith, the Unholy Trinity, a retro-inspired horror game that masterfully channels the 1980s Satanic Panic era into a chilling lo-fi pixel art experience. Set across 3 acts, you play as Father John Ward, a young priest grappling with the aftermath of a botched exorcism. His journey takes him through haunted houses, cemeteries, and cult-infested sewers as he attempts to stop an impending demonic ritual. The game brilliantly captures the paranoia of its era, blending exorcist-like possessions with creepy Rosemary Baby-esque cults. With only one action at your disposal, raising a crucifix to ward off enemies, the gameplay is simple yet nerve-wracking. Every demon encounter is a race against instant death, pushing you to perfect timing and patience. The game's minimalist controls, proving that less can indeed be more. While Faith excels at building tension with its unsettling environments and atmospheric sound design, it also does not shy away from brutal difficulty spikes. The final chapter in particular can feel punishing, as you are forced to memorize enemy patterns to survive. This old-school challenge might delight hardcore retro enthusiasts, especially during the finale's maze-like darkness. Still, if you're willing to brave through its tough moments, Faith delivers a haunting, story-rich experience that celebrates the era's horror themes. It is a uniquely crafted indie gem with a story that is absolutely brilliant and will haunt you long after the credits roll. At number 6 we have Chernobylite Enhanced Edition, a unique gaming experience that immerses you in the weight of your decisions, setting itself apart as a non-linear shooter with survival elements and a strong emphasis on player choice. Set in the haunting Chernobyl exclusion zone, the game introduces physicist Igor, a former Chernobyl power plant employee, on a quest to find his missing wife. Chernobylite encompasses various gameplay elements, including first-person shooter mechanics, base-building survival, and horror elements. The standout feature is the game's focus on choice, where decisions significantly impact the story. The innovative Chernobylite substance, capable of manipulating time and space, allows you to revisit key decisions and alter their outcomes. The game's environments, meticulously recreated using 3D scanning of the real exclusion zone, are visually stunning, offering a realistic and mesmerizing portrayal of the Soviet-era landscape. However, the lack of dynamic elements in the environment and simplistic enemy AI detract from the overall immersion. Combat, while spanning realistic shooter, stealth, and RPG styles, feels somewhat disjointed. The option for stealth offers a viable alternative, but the combat system struggles to excel in any particular style. The heart of Chernobylite lies in its diverse and compelling cast of characters, each with unique traumas and stories, adding depth to the narrative. Managing your crew's morale, keeping them well fed, and navigating their disagreements on critical decisions further enhance the immersive experience. The game's choice system extends beyond typical narrative consequences, influencing enemy activity, alliances, and even the topography of the game. Chernobylite's quirks, labeled as survival horror, may not fully justify the classification, and encounters with monsters and jump scares feel sporadic. Despite some mechanical shortcomings, Chernobylite stands as an ambitious and atmospheric adventure, earning its place as a flawed yet likable game. At number 7 we have Amnesia, The Bunker, a first-person horror game that thrusts you into a claustrophobic World War I bunker, forcing you to outwit a terrifying beast while managing scarce resources. The game places you in the boots of Henry Clement, a French soldier who must navigate through dark labyrinthine corridors to survive. The bunker transforms Amnesia's familiar sense of dread into an immersive sim experience, reminiscent of Alien Isolation. Instead of merely running and hiding, you're now planning your every move, rationing fuel for the generator, and scrounging for supplies to keep the lights on and the creature at bay. Every sound you make, whether cranking a flashlight or smashing a door, heightens the risk of the monster's imminent arrival. Yet, stealthy alternatives, like finding hidden vents or using cinder blocks to quietly break locks, add a strategic layer that keeps you on edge. The game excels in sound design, with every distant artillery boom, scurrying rat, or guttural growl sending chills down your spine. You'll often find yourself debating whether to use your last bullet to defend yourself, or save it for a locked door later on. Though its story is more straightforward than previous entries, piecing together Henry's role through scattered notes adds depth and emotional impact. The unpredictable randomized item placement and the ever-present threat ensure that no two playthroughs are the same, making Amnesia the Bunker an intense, nerve-wracking experience you will not soon forget. At number 8 we have Showgunners, a show-stealing tactical RPG that injects fresh life into the crowded genre with its gripping narrative and twisted setting. As Scarlet, a former police officer seeking revenge in the deadly game show Homicidal All-Stars, you're thrust into a world where survival means embracing violence and outwitting psychotic opponents. While the combat mechanics may not break new ground, the visceral battles, against a backdrop of absurdity and spectacle, make for an exhilarating experience. Grid-based skirmishes, reminiscent of XCOM, are punctuated by over-the-top death animations and hazardous traps that keep your adrenaline pumping. The game's character progression, though lacking in depth compared to some competitors, offers enough variety to keep things interesting. However, the inability to customize characters extensively may disappoint players seeking more control over their squad's development. Despite this limitation, Showgunners excels in providing accessible gameplay and thematic coherence. The explorative sections between battles, scavenging for upgrades while interacting with the fanbase, add depth to the experience and reinforce the game's unique universe. While Showgunners may not offer the depth and replayability of some tactical RPGs, its focus on spectacle and accessibility make it a thrilling entry point for newcomers to the genre. Whether you're seeking a violent delight or a gateway into tactical bloodbaths, Showgunners delivers an unforgettable experience that's well worth your time. At number 9 we have Hands of Necromancy II, a retro-inspired first-person shooter that channels the spirit of 90s classics like Doom and Hexen, but with a twist. You're wielding powerful magic instead of guns. In this sequel by the HON team, you'll choose between two unique characters, Acheron, a Crimson Mage, and Phaedra, a Dark Witch. Each character comes with their own set of magical abilities and weapons, giving you different ways to wreak havoc on your foes. The game offers 3 episodes, totaling 27 stages to explore. You'll face an array of enemies, from sorcerers launching fireballs to web-shooting spiders. As you progress, you'll gain transformative abilities, like turning into a swamp serpent or hellburner, adding new tactical layers to your exploration. The game's expansive levels encourage thorough exploration to discover hidden secrets, key items, and alternate paths. The combat is fast-paced and fluid, making use of both melee and ranged magical attacks. Whether you prefer the precision of a keyboard and mouse, or the comfort of a controller, the controls are responsive and intuitive. Bringing fallen enemies back to life to fight by your side adds a strategic edge, especially in more challenging encounters. Visually, it captures the blocky charm of its retro inspirations, while delivering diverse atmospheric environments like castles, caves, and deserts. The epic soundtrack perfectly complements the dark, magical setting. If you're a fan of old-school FPS games with a modern magical twist, Hands of Necromancy II is a nostalgic journey worth taking. At number 10 we have
Postal, Brain Damaged, a semi-retro style first-person shooter game. The plot is quite simple. The postal dude has brain damaged and you fight the disturbing things that are in his mind. This game harks back to classic FPS games like Doom and Quake, but instead of going full-on pixelated graphics, it goes for the more early PlayStation 2 graphics. This game features 3 episodes with 5 levels per episode, and each level has been designed meticulously with plenty of secrets to find and a ton of enemies to kill. You'll have access to 10 weapons that are all very unique to this game, like a gun that shoots urine, a shotgun that can also act as a grappling gun, or even a shovel that is also a chainsaw, among others. Most importantly, they're all really meaty and very fun to use to turn your enemies into a pile of red jello. Enemies in this game are varied too, and a lot of them either pay tribute to old Doom games with a funny spin, or even meme characters from our world like Karens. In fact, there's a Karen that serves as a boss fight. Gunplay is really fast and it can get quite challenging, especially on higher difficulties. So if you like a retro fast-paced shooter, then this is a game for you.
And that's all for this bundle. This bundle features a stellar selection of games, though it's hard to single out just a few. One of the most distinctive titles is Faith the Unholy Trinity, with its eerie rotoscope cutscenes, challenging gameplay, and haunting narrative, truly a standout in the horror genre. Another highlight is Amnesia the Bunker, which offers a gripping and unique experience set in the claustrophobic confines of a World War I bunker, delivering tension and suspense in a way few games can match. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. Maybe. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.